starting this vlog now because I just started the audiobook. What the fuck is that? I have to say something. Like this can't go further before I start the vlog. I kind of wish I still had my wicked nails on, but they lasted about a week. They could have lasted longer, genuinely. I was just not trying. Like, one of them popped off, and after that one was gone, my brain was like, okay, it's time for everything. It's time for all of them to come off. I tried to fix it. I tried to like glue it on again, but then another one fell off and I was just like, no, it's time. So I like essentially ripped off all of them. What I want to say. Okay, so this book is going to be spoiler filled, by the way. Okay, so we start off with who I'm assuming is Elphaba's parents. It's this couple. The woman's pregnant. She thinks she's about to give birth, and this man, he has to go on this minister mission. So I've listened to chapter 1 and chapter 2. There's a lot more religion than I was anticipating. There's apparently this unionist religion, that's what it's called, and they follow the unnamed god. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. So this man is a minister and he has received letters from his cousin about this clockwork dragon that's, oh my god, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? The puppet show that this clockwork dragon shows, insane. This is chapter 2. What the fuck do you mean? What was that? Just know that it was sexual. Anyways, so yeah, so that's been quite funny, but I have heard that apparently like people have been reading the Wicked book not anticipating its sexual content. So I will be warning you now, if you are a child or if you are expecting the whimsy, the fun, the fancifulness of the Wicked musical, that's not happening. This is feeling very genuinely quite serious, and I don't know how to feel about it. And again, very sexual. Don't know, just wanted to share that before I get further on in the book. I'm going to stop at the shops now, and then I'm on my way home. I'm going to be listening to more of this nonsense. I don't know what to expect. Okay, it's been like, oh my gosh, why's my face so red? I don't know. Anyways, I went to Wimpy because I never go to Wimpy, and I was like, fuck, I remembered I have a free waffle for my birthday because I wanted to sign up to all the apps to get a bunch of freebies. So I got a free waffle and I got a free milkshake because I was a part of the app, and it was delicious. Fantastic strawberry milkshake, for sure, for sure. And I also got a free Kit Kat at Checkers because they give you a free Kit Kat if it's your birthday. I've checked off 2 of my freebies, so I still have 2 more free things to take advantage of. Gosh, okay. Hi. So, no, you don't deserve shiny forehead. Oh, let me show you. So today I had a job interview. We'll see how that goes. I think it went well. So I got these tumbler glasses. They were like 50% off, and I had vouchers. So I paid a quarter of the price for 2 of these. So it was lovely. I think I got one for me and one for my cousin because she's also obsessed with Wicked. So I got to share the love. I like both of them. I'm a little bit partial to the pink just because of the color itself. But I know my cousin loves pink, so she'll probably take this one. So now I got some Wicked merch. I do have my giant Stanley cup. I did kind of want a glass that I could use for like iced coffees or more drinks I'm making. My Stanley I use for my just water. Yeah. Oh, this book? Fuck, I think I'm at chapter 4 now. Geographies of the seen and unseen, I think. It's so weird. It's very sexual, and then they also have this tendency to speak about the private parts of everyone. Like, everyone's genitals are just being mentioned, and I'm just like, why, for the love of God, why? We're still with Elphaba as a baby. I wasn't really anticipating spending this much time with Elphaba baby, mostly because this just isn't how the musical goes, or the movie goes. At this point, that's all. That's essentially that's the main comment. Is just it's weird. It's weird. That's it. Yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. and I will be drinking iced coffee out of this mug and I will show it to you, and I hope you have a lovely day. And oh my gosh, I look adorable. And yeah, okay, bye. Hunter. Really trying. Hello. It's been quite a few days. So I think the last time I spoke to you, that night was a supermoon. We went stargazing on the beach with some iced coffees in our wicked cups. Me and my cousin are swapping them. So for the one day she gets the pink one, and then the other day she gets the green one, and vice versa for me. Oh my god. Why am I yawning so much? Goodness. So that happened, and then I howled at the moon. Nothing really happened. I didn't really read for quite a few days. So then yesterday I went on a little road trip to Naisna. So I was able to make some decent progress with the audiobook for the first time in days. So that was lovely. So my cousin came back to the car, so I had to end the thought there. So yeah, so the chapters are quite long now. I double checked the one I'm listening to now. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Ugh, my cat's shitting. I don't know what I was talking about, but multiple things. I think I'm getting a little bit used to the humor of the book, but I think it also helps that we're not in the point of view of the mum and dad, or the mum, I think specifically. Yeah, we're not in the point of view of the mum, because it's not as, I don't know how to say, raunchy anymore. Oh my god. I love you, my poopy baby. Hello, now that I can breathe again, sort of breathe. He's still busy. He's just trying to cover up the smell, I think. But nothing can cover this smell, unfortunately. Focus. Okay, what else happened? Oh, Lando Norris won. Actually, wait. So Lando freaking Norris won the World Championship. He's not my fave, but he won it, so he deserves it. And his, like, when he won, it made me so emotional. I was bawling my eyes out. It was so cute. So that kind of put a soothing balm over the wound of my heart that Max didn't win. But he was so close. Anyway, so I got this Orlando monster in celebration of his win. Sorry, let's get to the nitty gritty. What you're here for? The Wicked. No, you're here for me. Yeah, I think it's like 10 hours left that I need to listen to on 1.3 speed. They kept mentioning Elphaba's genitals, especially in the start. It was kind of making me think about the way that people tend to villainize intersex people, and the way, or trans people in general, and the way that they kind of have this incessant need to know what their private parts are, as if that's anyone's fucking business. But it kind of just made me think about that, and I don't know if it was done on purpose. Like, I don't know if Gregory Maguire kind of was like pointing this out as a way that people are othering her or making her, in a way. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I do think I am kind of understanding the purpose of it a little bit more. But that's the thing, I'm not sure if it was done on purpose. The world itself, there's still this focus on religion and this focus on the different religions within Oz. Glinda is a little bit different than the book. I think I'm liking the complexity of the characters. I think the characters in the movie, like, they're very fun. So Glinda, she's not that rich. She's trying really to get into this social group that is rich, but she isn't this upper class lady. She's trying to fit in to this society. And with that comes disparaging Elphaba. But she is someone that is quite thoughtful, that is quite smart, and Elphaba is able to kind of bring that out of her. And I like the way that we're being able to see the way that their friendships are growing. So like the friendship between Elphaba and Glinda and Bok, and Nessa Rose has now been introduced in this chapter that I'm busy with, the Charmed Circle. So she's being introduced now, and we're seeing a bit more of the friendship. When I was watching the movie, there was this clip at the end which was adorable, where everyone was like hanging out and everyone was laughing and everything was adorable. But we never really felt that, I think, in the movie, like this group friendship, this an intense sense of friendship between them all, except for maybe between Glinda and Elphaba, like, because they're the main people that we're following, so we see their relationship growing as friends. But I think in the book it's kind of allowing us this time to see all of their relationships. Okay, so Glinda is not in fact a Richie Rich, but there is something that happens eventually where she is like, these motherfuckers are bitches, I'm not I'm not gonna be friends with them anymore. And then she kind of becomes a little bit more committed to Elphaba and Bok as friends. Actually, there's one quote in Glinda's chapter which was, "How am I supposed to know what I think?" Which I loved. There was this one quote at the start of Bok's chapter which was like, "Fuck studying." Like one of his friends, like they want to go out and they're just like, "Fuck studying, let's go out to the bars." And it was just, I was just like, that's what people do in university sometimes. So yes. Bok is, I don't know, he's not as cringy. And then Elphaba especially, I really like her character. She's very like antagonistic, or she like likes sowing chaos around her. So there's a scene where she's like, where Bok wants to confess his feelings for Glinda, so she kind of pesters Glinda to meet with him so that he can confess his feelings, and she's just fucking giving a running commentary on the side, like she's being such a little bitch, and I love it. So I love that fact about her, like the fact that she can be so abrasive and brave, while at the same time she is also quite insecure about certain things, and she is quite sensitive about other things, but she can stand up for herself in a way that I find quite endearing. And it's also so interesting to see her from a child to who she is now. From when she was a child, she was like a proper little gremlin. Apparently she has like shark's teeth, or like these really sharp teeth that she like bit someone's fucking finger off. She's genuinely just not like a normal child. She's not just green. She's quite different, and she behaves quite differently from a typical baby. So seeing her now as this adult that is quite well spoken and able to kind of, I don't want to say fit in, but like be this lady and be a part of this friend group and be a part of a school where she's actually fitting in is actually quite nice. But I'm actually quite curious how did she get from A to now C, essentially? Where's the B? So the politics around Oz kind of intertwined with the religious part of this book. It's a little bit more, I'd say, intense, which makes sense. The Wizard of Oz has this kind of Disney-esque cleansing about it, where it's like, it's not that bad. It's kind of reminding me of the Zootopia movie, where like the original story is like they were wearing like shock collars, like the predators had to wear shock collars, but like the Disney kind of made it a little bit, it's not that bad. It's kind of giving that vibe where it's like there's this little bit of a like from the movie where it's like they're caging animals, and there's definitely like a restriction on animals, but I think the book, it's what it sounds like concentration camps happening with the animals. I can't remember, but there's like this whole section that was like devastated by this quest for rubies. Like there's a lot more of a emphasis on this kind of effect of greed and kind of a mirror image of colonization. Like these people kind of came in, killed everyone that lived there, the Quadling country, to steal their resources, which is a bit intense, to be fair. And then like Dr. Dillamond, so the goat professor, he has been murdered now. There is a kind of animals should be seen and not heard moment in the book as there is in the movie, But this time it was like the way that it was kind of said, the way that it was revealed to us as the audience, like this was in a public speech by Madame Marble, or Marble, the headmistress of Shiz, was saying a poem, and like this was in the poem that she was saying, and like there was this kind of audaciousness in the way that she was like, yeah, so what? She was like kind of shameless about it in a way where she was just like, yeah. And like when Alphabet tried to confront her about it, she was like, no, don't you understand irony? It was an ironic statement. But like she was trying to be like, no, it was an ironic statement without saying it was an ironic statement, because it wasn't an ironic statement. But she wants people to think that would disagree with this statement, like that's not what she was intending. But that is what she was intending. Anyways, this whole thing. So Dr. Dillamond has been murdered, I'm assuming because he was trying to do research into the difference between animals with a capital letter and animals. So animals and animals. Like trying to differentiate between them, like what makes them different, or what makes animals different from humans. Kind of to staunch or fight against the oppression that animals with a capital, and I think also animals with a small, animals are facing in Oz when it comes to legislation and the way that they are being systematically oppressed. Anyways, so he's trying to find kind of this biological reasoning, and I think because of this research, and I'm assuming he was becoming successful in his research, he was murdered. And if you know about the movie, like he's not murdered in the movie. And I think this kind of brutality in the book is adding a weight to the situation. And it seems like Elfie wants to fight this fucking battle and fight the Wizard of Oz all on her lonesome. The ruling class has kind of always been, there has been insurgents, and there has been people that are standing up against the ruling class. It's been a bit more like building. It's not just the Wizard of Oz is the issue and we just need to get rid of him. It seems like this, it's definitely like kind of a systematic issue. There's that. So poor Dr. Dillamond has been murdered, and it seems like Elfie is now on a mission to fight against the Wizard of Oz all on her lonesome, but Bog is like, bitch, I'm your friend, I want to help, let me help. That's where I kind of ended off. So that's kind of been the story. And now I'm not actually explaining the details of the overall story. I'm assuming you understand the basic story of Wicked, and I'm just now explaining the differences. So now in the chapter where Nessa Rose has been introduced, her disability is quite different than the way it is in the Wicked musical and the Wicked movie. So in the Wicked movie, she's a wheelchair user. So, but in the book, she is, I can't remember what the exact term is, but she doesn't have arms. And I know it seems like it's affecting her balance. I'm actually quite curious if that would affect someone's balance, especially if it's a disability that you are born with. Like it feels like something you kind of adapt to, but it does seem like she was quite pampered and she never really learned how to survive on her own with her disability. And she's quite religious in the book as well. Like she's this like holier than thou girly pop. Oh, and Elphaba and Nessa Rose, they have a younger sibling. Instead of Melina, Elphaba's mom, my cat smelled the monster and just was like anyways, so instead of Elphaba's mom dying in childbirth with Nessa Rose, as it shows in the movie, they actually have another sibling called Shell, which is the birth where Elphaba's and Nessa Rose's mom died. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting used to it a bit more. I am kind of curious if we are going to be seeing a perspective from Elphaba, because I do think that is kind of a part of the wickedness of her, in the sense that we haven't heard from her point of view yet. We haven't been able to hear her side of the story. So I am quite curious to see if we will be getting that eventually. Like, will we be able to see, like, what is her thoughts and feelings that she doesn't share vocally? that is the update for the audiobook. Now for the vlog, for the vibes. So I want to clean my room because I want to film another video, filming a book haul. My room's kind of messy. The portion of my room that you are not seeing. Everything behind and around this image is messy. So while I do all of these tasks, I will be listening to the audiobook. So, I was always almost compelled to re-download Genshin Impact yesterday. I'm still kind of in the mood to play it because like I played it for quite a while a few years ago, and at one point I deleted it because I became so frustrated with the issues that the game has. I gave up on it, but there is this part of me that's really in the mood for a Genshin Impact type of gameplay. Actually, I have Zelda, the one that people compared Genshin Impact a lot to, especially the first portion of the storyline and the first like area. Like a lot of the gameplay and stuff, it is quite similar. To kind of stop myself from downloading Genshin Impact, I might start to play, I think it's Breath of the Wild, and then I might listen to the audiobook while I play. It depends on how much I can focus on the game or how much focus the game needs from me. Is there a chance I might give in and download Genshin entirely? But I will be trying to resist. I don't know, I'm still deciding. It's just a lot. Like the game is fucking massive. I think it's like 40 gigabytes. And my phone technically has the space for that. I don't know how well my phone is going to be running with the game installed on my phone. So, anywho, I also, oh my god, I made banana bread yesterday. So I think I'm gonna have a few slices and then we're gonna clean. Let's go. Yeah, Sophia has been introduced, and apparently he was attacked by antlers. I don't know how to explain that, and I will not be going into detail. But he was attacked by antlers and stabbed in the face. You know, a great introduction to the story. But shame, he was late for class and then he got attacked. And I'm kind of trying to decide what I want to do right now. But story-wise, Elphaba, Glinda, and Nessa Rose, they have kind of been... Madame Marble has tried to kind of recruit them. I think she did kind of put them under a spell where they were kind of coerced into forgetting what happened during this meeting and that they couldn't really discuss it with their friends. But I do think it's interesting to note that Glinda is kind of ostensibly like she's been against Miss Marble. Like they have been beefing since the start of this girl's school career, and I love that. And like Elphaba is on this mission to go see the wizard, I think because she wants to confront him. Yeah, we found out the culprit for the murder of Dr. Dillerman. It's this fucking ticky-tocky thing, which I don't know. The murderer is basically Miss Marble. Anyways, I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you guys later. Ooh, there was this like hint, like there was this one character that they said was as flexible as a straw man, and I'm really curious if he's going to be the straw man in this in the book, or if it's kind of just referencing the straw man kind of as a red herring. I am quite curious. I do think there has also been hints of Bok's transformation into the Tin Man, and shame he's finally like kind of letting go of his feelings for Glinda, which I appreciate because he was a little bit, how do I say this, incessantly obsessed with this woman in the movies. Yeah. It's Glinda, not Glinda. It's G with the G. Forgot I had this, and it's giving me major Glinda vibes, or Glinda vibes, if you will. She does actually also change her name in the book, just by the way. I've started playing Breath of the Wild, and yes, it is in fact Breath of the Wild. Oh my Also, look at how cuddly and cute my baby is. Look at him. He's so cute. We've got some toe beans. He's so cute. Also, actually, I do have something to update you about. Fiero, Bach, and the rest of the boys are currently at a sex club. And they wanted to take Glinda and Elphaba to this place. Oh my god, but Elfie saved them and snatched them away. Also, they are definitely still giving like homoerotic friendship vibes in the book, Glinda and Elphaba. I mean, this book is very interesting, very weird. The thing is, I don't know how I would have approached this book having gone in blind. I don't know if my like kind of expectations would have been different, almost most definitely. But because I have I have become familiar with the story through the movie, it's just such a different tone. I'm wondering if that's kind of influencing my opinion of this book and me experiencing, so to say, this weirdness where it's not necessarily because the book it's weird, because the book is weird, but because it's just so different from the one I saw first. So I think that's kind of creating this dissonance within myself when things are very different. So I don't know, and I'm not even fucking halfway. That's another thing. It's not even halfway, and I have like 9 hours left. 9 fucking hours. So you know that job interview that I did? Yeah, I just had to decline the offer for it. It's going to be a bit too rigorous. I am still studying, and for the next 2 years I have to focus on that. Like, that needs to be my main priority. So anything else kind of is going to detract from that. So unfortunately, I've just had to say no. Hated doing that. Oh my god, I'm proud of myself for doing it, but it's a job I wish I could do, but it's just not the right time at the moment. So that's a life update. And then in terms of the book, Glinda and Elphaba have split. They've broken up. Elphaba kissed Glinda goodbye, and it's not clearly stated if she like kissed her on the lips or if she like kissed her cheek. It just says she kissed her, and then she kisses her again, and then she says bye. So yeah, the way that they kind of paths diverge is very different from the movies. Like, Elphaba isn't being chased. She isn't labeled the Wicked Witch of the West quite yet. Like, they went to see the Wizard of Oz. I can't deny her optimism and her naivety, but I find it kind of strange that she would, in the movie, in the story, it doesn't even matter, that she would put so much faith in the wizard, in his ability to care about the animal rights, when he is the one that's putting in the legislation against animal rights. But anyway, so the way that they split up is quite different. Like, it feels like Elphaba kind of just like abandons her to go on this quest all on her own. It seems like she's doing it out of this sense of care and protection for her friends. Like, she wants to complete this mission, but she doesn't want to put her friends in danger. But also, we're not sure what the mission is quite yet. It was a time skip. So I'm at part 3, I think that's called the City of Emeralds. Fiero is married, Bach is married, Glinda is married, not to each other. But we're finding out because Fiero has seen Alfie now for the first time in years, and he kind of followed her home because she was like avoiding him and lying to him and like being like, I don't know you. I don't know you. Okay, so I knew they talked about, I've heard that yes, they talk about Elphaba's pubic hair, and they do. Why? She and Fiero are getting it on now while he's in the Emerald City for business, but now he's getting down to business. There's so much cheating happening in this book. It's insane. I've upped the speed of the audiobook. It's now at 1.5, but oh my god, I just want it to end. I was kind of thinking about some of the world building stuff. Did Gregory Maguire make all of this up to kind of create this? It really feels like quite a unique world, honestly. It feels like a world so different from our own. I want to know if it's like based on anything or if it's just things that he's made up.
I'm listening to the book. I was listening to it while I was playing Breath of the Wild. I sort of know what's happening. I'm going to be honest. Most of it's just going past me. Like after, and spoiler alert, shame, after Fiero died at the end of the previous part, there are like certain mentions of kind of things the Wicked Witch of the West, like her characteristics or things from the original movie, like her broom and her black clothes, and apparently Elphaba had a child. Like Sham, he's traveling with her. Don't ask me questions. But yeah, so she had a child with Fiero. She went a little bit cuckoo from grief, kind of understandably. So then she was kind of like recovering all this time, and she's now like 30. Like there's been another time skip. They've mentioned something about a monkey. I think there's a monkey traveling with her, and she's now like a witch. It's kind of interesting because Elphaba, I think, has by now studied sorcery for a bit. Like Glinda was the one that studied sorcery at school. Like Elphaba never had any kind of passion towards this. Like she didn't really feel the inclination towards sorcery. And then there's another quote, my favorite quote from part 3, the City of Emeralds. I'm not quoting directly, just to be clear, because I'm quoting from memory. It's where Elphaba was talking about her sister. If Nessa could just accept the fact that she's a bitch, then she would be the bitch of the East, like instead of the witch of the East. Like this book isn't for me, in the sense that I don't think I would recommend the fans of the Wicked musical or the Wicked movie to read this book, in a sense that if you are a fan and you love the whimsy and the joyfulness and the playfulness of the Wicked story, that's not what you get here. Here is where you get the dark backstory, besides the what the fuck sexual moments and the general what the fuck moments. It's very grim. So if you want that, if you want kind of this peel-backed grim story about the Wizard of Oz, like a retelling of the Wizard of Oz, that's exactly what this is, but that's not what I wanted going into this. Anyways, I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I was playing Legend of Zelda for a bit, and I've gotten to the ice part. I don't know, I kept drowning in the icy water, and I was like, you know what, it's time. And I think I have, oh my god, I think I still have like 5 hours left of this audiobook. I'm gonna try and like, so to say, grind through it, but I am most likely just going to be listening to it in the background with absolutely nothing process. Well, actually not nothing, but just most of it kind of, I don't need to know the details. Okay? I just want the general gist, and that's fine. Okay, so me and my cousin have finally kind of chosen our cups. She and I have done personality tests and to kind of establish which one we are, and she has gotten Elfie and I have gotten Glinda. I'm gonna get the pink cup now, and then she's going to get the green one. So it's finally been determined. I know it was leaving you guys at the edge of your fucking seats. Actually, hi, hello, oh my god, I'm here to check in. Okay, so that previous clip you just saw was me reacting to, okay, so basically Leah, Elphaba's supposed child, he drowned, right? Elphaba was giving him mouth to mouth, and she was like clamping her hand, I think in the soil or something, and the author was comparing that to the way that you would grip the banister of a bed when you were in the throes of passion. And
And then another character and one of the other children was also like experienced their first feelings of sexual arousal, and oh my god, what was that? What the fuck was that? Why? Like, oh my god, it's a child and you're saving his life, and why? Just why? I don't understand the need for this book to be this sexualized. It's not necessarily in a sexy, like you're supposed to be feeling the sexiness of the scene, but it's, oh my god, it just, everything just makes you so anyways, it just makes me so uncomfortable. Also, look at my nails. It's cat themed. Oh my gosh, can you even see? So Leah almost died, and basically it was one of the other children that they're staying with, one of his half brothers, right, that kind of like caused his near death. And Elphaba basically murders this child. She like grabs an icicle, whoosh, pole vaults it into this child's head, murders this child, and yeah, so that happened. So Elphaba's a murderer now, and it was so out of left field. I was just like, oh my god, okay. Elphaba has realized that this might be her child, finally. But I do think she might have been a bit in denial. And then the other reason I wanted to chat with you guys is because Elphaba she can fly on the broom, just by the way. She went to visit her dad and her sister Nessa Rose in the eminent Throp in the east, in their Munchkin land, wherever they stay. And she's chatting with her dad now, and the dad has revealed that he and his wife both, like, they were in a throuple with Turtle Heart. And I just have to say, I fucking knew it. I was getting a vibe. Like, I didn't want to mention it because I didn't know if this book was going to actually go gay. Like, the dad was also so close to Turtle Heart in a way that I felt like, interesting. Do you hear that? What's that tooting? So that's happening. I think I have like 2.5 hours left.
So I have finished the Wicked book. Oh my gosh, I feel so proud of myself. I finished it like 2 days ago. Okay, so I've given it 3 stars. At the end of the day, it's one of the weirdest books I've ever read in my entire life. But also, I want to kind of give it props for that. Like, damn, you're the weirdest book I've ever read in my entire life. Like, damn, that's an achievement. I do think the story is quite meandering in a way. Like, it's very just, oh my goodness, it takes its time, and it really, really doesn't have to. But I love the characters, I love the world, I love the detail when it comes to that. Like, I love the intricacies that Gregory Maguire has added to the world of Oz. At the end, okay, so Elphaba died at the end, as far as I'm aware. I know there is still books that follow after this, and I don't know if it's spoiler alert, I don't know if it's like the movie where she like faked her death or because she's actually dead. But shame, Dorothy, I think Elphaba accidentally got like set on fire, and like Dorothy was just trying to help her by putting out the fire, so she threw her with a bucket of water. And I don't know if that's actually what happens in The Wizard of Oz, because I am quite curious. Like, I can't imagine this 12-year-old girl actually going out to murder Elphaba. So, and then I did find out that there were no legal footage of the musical. So, do with that information what you will. Oh, I wish I could watch it in real life. Like, I wish I could watch it in real life. I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna start like searching just everywhere, just for like musicals, and to see if there are any like productions in South Africa, because I know we do musicals at certain spaces, but I know the arts in South Africa is sometimes quite undervalued and underfunded. But I know there are a lot of like independent small companies, like even my friends are part of like a small drama group and they do performances. So I feel like I should be able to find a Wicked performance somewhere. Okay, I'm finding that Wicked performance somewhere. And then the identities of the Cowardly Lion, the Straw Man, and the Tin Man are not really explicitly who they are in the musical, because Elphaba has this kind of perception. She has this hope that she recognizes them. So like the Cowardly Lion, she like it reminds her of the cub that was saved when she was at school. But we don't know for sure that that's actually who this lion is. Or I think so. I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I wasn't focusing that much. I wasn't like that engaged. So if I missed something, fuck, please. And then the Tin Man, he's not at all who he is in the movies. Oh yeah, and the Straw Man, especially, Elphaba has this like hope that it is Fiero because she has this hope that he didn't actually die. But then she sees that it's actually a man made of straw. Like there isn't someone hiding within him. Shame. She's very sad. But yeah, and then also at the end, especially her attitude towards Dorothy. A lot of characters throughout the book have called Elphaba paranoid. And I don't think it's ever really revealed if all of these ideas that she has about Madame Morble, about the Wizard of Oz, the structure, like, there's a lot, don't get me wrong, there's a lot wrong with the world of the Wizard of Oz. But I am kind of wondering if her assumptions were really true, because we never, I think, get confirmation, like the murder of Dr. Dillamond. We know who killed him, but I think Elphaba kind of creates this plot, this machination, and when Madame Marble tries to kind of induct the girls at the school into positions of power for this unnamed master, it's never really like confirmed if that unnamed master was the Wizard of Oz. I think it is, like, but it's never confirmed, and especially there at the end, her kind of paranoia, in a sense, is kind of exacerbated. It does kind of seem like she is losing her grip with reality, especially when it comes to Dorothy, where it is like Dorothy is literally a child. Someone has given her Nessa's shoes, which was Glinda. Can't believe she fucking did that. Someone has given her these shoes, and like they physically just won't come off. But Elphaba kind of sees this girl as being this peon in the battle in her battle with the Wizard of Oz. She kind of views this girl as very like antagonistic, when in fact she's just a girl trapped in the middle of this world and she just wants to go home. And I'm quite curious. Certain characters mentioned like Elphaba, you control your destiny. Like no one can tell you what to do. But there is this one character that kind of keeps popping up in all the stories, and there is this sense in a way that Elphaba has kind of been controlled, that someone has kind of been playing her like a puppet and leading her into this ending. It just feels sad because Elphaba only really wanted to stand up for what she believed in. I think if I had the book physically and I read it physically, I would probably have gone through it a lot faster, for one, and I could probably have been able to analyze it a bit more because I wouldn't have been kind of zoning out, I'm gonna be honest. Actually, I'm saying that if I read it physically, it would have made absolutely no difference, because I also do this thing, like if I'm not interested in what's happening, I can still read the words, but that doesn't mean anything gets in here. Okay, that does not mean that the information is lodging itself into my brain. Also, I found out, because I went onto Goodreads, and it seemed like there's going to be a new audiobook that's voiced by Cynthia Erivo. I feel like this was, it's just like, I don't really want to listen to the book again, but I love her voice, and I would love to listen to the book in her voice. But now, but so now I'm kind of, I don't know what the word is. I wish I was able to listen to Cynthia Erivo's version, but I don't think it's out yet. I think it's coming out, but I don't know when. Leave a like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts if you've ever read this book. Tell me if you want to read this book. Like, I recommend this to people who want to learn more about, who want a darker version of the story of Wicked and the Wizard of Oz. Also, it's not for children, please, for the love of God. This is an adult fantasy book. Keep that in mind. And if this book interests you, fucking go for it. I don't know. I did kind of spoil a lot, but I also left out a lot. So leave a like and subscribe, and then we'll see you some other time. Bye.